Okay. Today I have with me Lindy and Tammy from Western Christian Academy. My name is Jeff Gillingham. I'm administrator of Western Christian Academy, and Lindy has been at Western Christian Academy for 5 years. She is our parent-teacher advocate and also now our high school counselor. And Tammy has been with us 9 years, going on almost 10. And Tammy has been fulfilled the role of vice principal as well as doing some teaching and also wearing many hats here, of course, but also doing our elementary school counseling, our basically our K through 6th, 7th, 8th grade. About a program we've used in the past. We've made it optional for our kindergarten and our through 3rd grade. The kindergarten program, it was automatically included in that program, but we see the value of it for our children or our students, your children, for kindergarten through 3rd grade to build foundational skills in reading and math. And so we wanted to share a little bit about that program with you. It is called Amira Reading and Istation Math. They're all incorporated into the same program, software program, Amira Reading. So I'm going to be asking some questions to Lindy and Tammy because they're the people that typically work with families and students, running reports, getting information, monitoring students, see how they're improving, and where they need to be. And so we're just going to share with you guys, with everybody, just generally some questions that we have and concerns that some parents may have concerning this program. So one of the first questions that I want to basically ask is, because students are part of a distance learning program with online learning, parents can be concerned about screen time. How much screen time does this program require for students to use on a daily basis? Any one of you can just jump in at any time. So
we only require 20 minutes a day, 20 minutes for math, and then the next day they would do 20 minutes for language arts or the reading. A lot of kids really enjoy it and they end up doing a little bit more, but we encourage parents to try to, their focal point, but they do enjoy it a lot. So sometimes it's hard to get them off after the 20 minutes.
Okay.
I would absolutely agree with that statement. So at times you'll have kids begging.
I mean, it seemed like really a short time frame. 20 minutes really is nothing in our world today. We live in a fast-paced culture with all kinds of devices, and so I, as a dad, I personally think that screen time is not an issue for our younger kids. It is for us as parents to get our kids off the screen, and so this is a valuable tool to help them increase their reading, their English language, grammar skills, and then also their math skills, which honestly, probably 80% of students in the world today struggle with mathematical basics. And so we want to build good foundations through this program. What in general, from your guys' experience over the last couple of years, what are some great value benefits that you guys see this program that brings to Western Christian Academy and our students?
To be honest, I think that it gives independence to our students. So from the littlest one, and you'll have to teach it to them, especially in kinder, because a lot of kinder kids in today's technology, they do know how to work most of the stuff. They even teach us how to do it. But a lot of times, if you're using a mouse or something like that, those are challenges for the kids. But once they've mastered it, they're fine. But when they start reading, they start getting into the program assesses the students and figures out where their weaknesses are, where their strengths are. And that's something that's very difficult for some parents to do, or even some teachers to do. So it helps pinpoint those issues and strengths, and then it teaches them along the way and strengthens what they're missing, or it keeps introducing what they're missing until they can put all the pieces together. And then the system will way to where they need to be.
Okay. I think one of the best things I like about this program is that it aligns with our mastery-based learning. Not only the mastery-based learning, but the individualized mastery-based learning of each and every student, because they all learn at different levels and at different paces, even in the same family. And we know pretty much girls are outpacing the boys. And so that learning construct cannot be done on a comparative basis. And so this program really isolates each individual learner at a mastery-based functionality in order, like you said, Tammy, master the concepts before it allows them to move on. And that's some of the intuitiveness that this program brings. Now, the current update of the program with Amira from iStation Reading to Amira Reading is that it brings an AI component in, which then basically brings more students with the program and assessing automatically where that student is. So these.
On that detail though, one of the best things about it is that when you set up a student like in kinder, if the student progresses were very young, who were reading at third grade levels, because that's where they were at. And it's hard for parents and sometimes educators to assess it or figure out, hey, I don't have that high of a level of reading, or I need to back it down. And so it pinpoints that level and allows that student to grow where they're at, not where I want them to be.
Right. I think it brings more of an honest assessment of that individual student.
Sometimes the downside, if a parent is being too helpful for their child and they're sitting there helping the child answer the questions, the program may advance too far too fast. And that can be a frustration. So I would just encourage parents to watch. You definitely want to be a part of it, but you do not want to help.
Correct.
That's a very good point. That's a very good point.
It's okay for the kids to get something wrong. We actually want them to get it wrong so that the program will do what it's designed to do.
Correct. So we've already talked about some of the impact on learning, here briefly, but let's take a deeper dive into student impact. Do you guys have any personal in the past couple with individual students where you've seen great benefit for individual students?
I know there was one little boy that was hesitant to get on, and when he saw, the program's changed a little bit, but at the beginning there was like different medals or awards that the kids could earn, and when he realized he could earn different little award levels, he got very excited and very motivated. So, and then of course, consequently, he did much better because he was spending more time and excited.
Another thing is the kids get to see their growth. So there's typically something in the program when they finish something that says, hey, you've grown this much, and it give them a bar that shows them growing, and then stars at the end of it and stuff like that. But the other piece is with that, it also gives the parents, because we can do reports and send them out, and the reports show the growth over time through the whole school year of how much their student has grown.
Okay. And that's both in the reading aspect and the math aspect, yes. Correct? Mm-hmm. Okay. I mean, I think Lindy, you pointed out the boy who saw that he could earn some rewards, even though they're digital rewards, so to speak. But for him, it was a great value, realizing, oh, I actually get to progress and I actually get to be rewarded for my learning. And so the value of those rewards, even for program or educational platform or anything like that, it's part of parenting. It's part of helping kids grow and mature and realizing that there are rewards when we work hard and we strive to do better, and especially to be responsible for what we've been given to do. Talk to about parents. We deal with kids and parents all over the world. So we deal with a lot of first-time people with their students learning at home. We deal with training home for various reasons. Talk to us about parents. How do you help parents understand you're doing a good job? How does this program help parents realize they're doing a good job?
I think that's a Lindy question.
Well, I was trying to give you time to answer, Tammy. I think it just goes back to the awards because they can see that progress. I think one of the biggest struggles that homeschool parents have, not that we're homeschooled, am I doing the best thing for my kid? Are they even progressing? Blah, blah, blah. But to be able to see the progress and be able to see your child, being able to read and figuring things out on their own is, it's the little things that are, help you understand that you are doing.
And
it's baby stuff,
but this is real time, right? Like real time evaluations that the program is bringing to realize, wow, my student is learning, my student is reading, my student is learning the math concepts. And because sometimes, let's be honest, parents wonder if they're doing a good job because they themselves were not good students when they were in school. And so we have parents that, I didn't graduate from high school, or I never went to college and I don't feel qualified. And yet this program is going to help demonstrate by just using the program and the required use of it to help them understand my student.
Well, on top of that, a lot of times parents don't realize that they're teaching their kids every single day at every moment. Even in the simplest concept of you're going to the grocery store and you don't think this is a learning experience, but it is, because they're learning how to buy things, they're learning how to get, the correct food stuffs. But in addition to that, they're learning shapes, colors, reading. It's all math-based because of everything we see in our world is educational. We don't look at it like that from a parent standpoint until you start having like little ones. So you got 2-year-olds, 3-year-olds at home, and you realize, when you go to the store, you can pick out they're learning their letters. Well, it's something that's simple. They don't even realize their everyday out and about is education. And that's huge.
Right. And that's what this program brings in, a focus towards that learning that you now can see it apply, whether they're going to the grocery store, whether it's simple mathematical factors, whether it's counting, if they're learning in kindergarten and learning the numbers and the sequences. This program will actually help intuitively in a focused aspect accelerate and expose that learning out and about in the real world. One of the things I think it's important that we are aware of as educators and as parents is the C. And so if we want our students to be consistent in their learning, we have to be consistent as parents and educators in that accountability that's necessary to keep them learning. So parents, never fear. If you wonder whether or not you're doing a good job and you're part of Western Christian Academy, just what you can work on, what you are doing well at, what your students are doing well at, because we definitely partner with our families, creating a good relationship for the development together of your student. And again, just want to remind you guys, everybody, that this program is really focused on K through 3rd grade as a requirement. So in that requirement, I want to move forward as an administrator and talk about cost. We have made this program optional. And what we found is that pretty much most people they're not going to pay for it. And so I've been trying to strategize, how do we get parents to understand the value of this program? And basically I said, the only way I know how to do that is to require them to require this program. Well, what does that look like for cost? Because I'm very concerned with what the cost is. If I want to do something with my family, the first thing I look at is cost. I mean, finances a lot of times is the elephant in the room that we don't want to address. And I want parents, cost is one of the first things that I want to address. I want to make sure that we are providing equitable educational resources that are affordable. I mean, that's one of our core values. And so when we break this down, the total cost for both math and reading is a total of $60. So when I break this down to the monthly payments structure, it's anywhere between $4 to $6 a month. That kindergarten through, it's actually included in the kindergarten cost. So actually first grade through third grade, it's an additional $4 to $6 a month if you're paying 10 months or 12 months, depending on what your type of program, your payment schedule you're on. $4 to $6 a month in addition to your tuition. That's it. So it's very, very affordable, and yet the end result, you won't even be concerned about what the cost was each and every month that you've spent. So that's the cost. It's really nothing that we want to burden parents on, and so we're going to invoice parents that with that additional cost. Those that paid for the full year, we'll just invoice them for the $60, and we'll work with them on making that payment. So let's talk about usage. We've mentioned it, 20 minutes a day, both for math and for reading. But when you break that down, it's really actually 20 minutes on one day for reading and then another day for math. And then you go back to you could do it. Can they do it 5 days a week, 7 days a week? What's the recommended time that they should be on the program?
I recommend at least 5 days a week, the days you're supposed to be doing school. If you want to use it more than that, that's up to you. Okay.
So is there like in the process, is there a cap when a student has, okay, you've reached the limit of the program? In other words, you're reading beyond the program and you're doing math beyond the program? I don't
know that there is a cap because
it's actually a K-12 program. So it will go, I've never seen high schoolers really use the program, but I know that for the younger kids, there isn't one.
Right. So good. So the more you use it, really, the better the student's going to perform, right? And the more results you'll be able to see, especially with the reports that we'll be able to share with you as parents. Let's talk about, because we have kids all over the world, last thing I want to address is our international students, and not just international, but we also have students here in America. But where English language learners, the ELL learners, may struggle with learning English as a second language, may struggle with English language development because of special needs or things like that. Let's talk to us about that. How does this program help facilitate that type of learning?
Well, the new piece of Amira is that Amira actually has the students read to her or answer questions to her. So they're talking to her. So she can assess what they can read and what they can't, or their speech. But the biggest thing is it works with their own personal pathway. So if a student's learning their alphabet, then it's going to focus on just your basic sounds. But if it's working like first and second grade, where you're working on your combination of letters, where you have two vowels that walk together, or you're working on digraphs, which is your SH, CH, those, and then you have your triple blends where you have 3-letter blends. It helps the kiddos learn that as they grow. So, and it introduces each piece as it accelerates. So, and then it'll back it back down. If it gets too rough, it'll back down and say, okay, we missed a concept. Let's go back and learn it. And then we'll move forward from there.
Okay. So the intuitiveness of the program, then really it could advance too quickly, but yet it's also intuitive enough to back up a little bit to say, you know what, we're not ready for that on a consistent basis. So again, that's that mastery-based focus of the program that, again, directly aligns with our program. Lindy, do you have anything to add, in your workings with families that may struggle with English language learners?
I just know that there was a student a couple years back who only had Spanish in the home, and I know that he did very well with iStation, and I'm not sure how. So there must have been some way that it worked with him, but he did very well on his progress reports, as I noted. So it definitely helped him.
Okay.
Well, and
Good.
they're hearing the language. So if English isn't their first language, they're hearing it spoken. And because of the AI tools and technology, it is pretty accurate, that it reads it correctly. So.
Okay. So any last things to mention about the program? Again, this is a program we're requiring for, it's already part of the kindergarten program, but for first and third grade, we're requiring it this year because we really want to be able to see collectively how this is helping our students build a good foundation as they leave third grade and go into fourth, fifth, and sixth grade, where these concepts that they're learning are beginning to build back up on themselves. And so we want to make sure that that foundation that we're building under them is a good foundation, and that we're not leaving kids hanging or they're missing concepts as they get into more advanced, especially math, structures and problems and the necessary mastery-based fundamentals of math that they need to learn or should have learned in the first, second, and third grade. We're now in fourth, fifth, and sixth. They're applying that with different mathematical concepts. Is there anything other in this program that you guys want to mention, talk about, that would be beneficial to parents to help them understand the benefit of this program?
I would just remind parents that this is just a tool. You are still the best tool that your student has as the parent, and reading to them one-on-one is going to be the best thing still. But this is absolutely a great tool, but that's all it is a tool. And if you miss a day or two, it's fine. It's not going to kill you.
It's okay. The tool is still there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. That's really good. I like that. Okay.
We just want to make sure that they're using the tool. So
Right.
maybe 5 days a week doesn't work for that student. Maybe it's only 2 or 3. Well, that's fine too. But then you want to make sure maybe you're hitting both maybe you have to switch it up on how maybe they're doing both subjects in a day. If you can't do, you're going on vacation or there's an issue with something in the family. We don't know that part. So we just know that the students need to include it for the students. But the biggest thing I would also tell the parents is, remember, this is for the students to do, not for the parents to help. Because yes, the parents are the best teacher for their kids, but this is an additional help for the parent. That 20 minutes, mom or dad, that you need a break. That's a good time to put them on the computer and say, here you go. I have to have a break. So.
And, let's be honest, as long as I've been doing this and working with various families all over the world, if you're one of the things I wanted to mention about English language learners, even as adults, there's concepts in here that will help you just by observing that you may be refreshed on concepts wise, or you may, if you're learning English as a second language, it may help you with some of the phonetic structures of sounds of words, things like that. So, the ability to participate in the learning with your kids is always a great benefit to your kids, knowing that mom and dad care as much as about my learning as I may care. So, well, good. I'm glad we had this time to present this. There will be a link attached with this video as well to provide more information directly from that program. So again, thank you, Lindy. Thank you, Tammy, for your time. And we look forward to seeing the benefit of this program with our kindergarten through third grade all throughout this year. So thank you.